Travis has a love of the forest, and he likes to write about it. I adjusted that line, I'm sorry. He had too many words in there, and I couldn't sell it. After nearly a decade of quietly honing his writing abilities, he began competing in local slam poetry events in early 2020. He found success there and is currently the reigning inspired Word Cafe competitive slam champion. That is something. Wow. His brand of lyric and melody-driven indie hip-hop can be found at Frantic Rhymes on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Andrews.
The sock. Got it. Sorry, I forgot my sock.
Oh. And we're live. All right, thank you very much for that. This is my first time at Riga Fest. It's great being here. This is a lovely space full of lovely people. Lovelier than Lumbee. I'm sorry, Lumbee. That was not a joke about the Tim Hortons and everyone being excited by it. It's big news. Okay, so I've got 3 poems here I'm going to be reading. I'm going to start with this one, which is called 64 out of 100. It's very near to my heart, and if I was to describe what it's about, I would guess it would be about neurodivergency. Okay. In all honesty, I knew it meant nothing, which is what I thought to myself as the numbers winked on the screen, which is what I muttered to myself as the values gazed at my beliefs. 64 out of 100. It meant nothing, I guess. So I knew this wasn't scientific in any sense of the word, and I knew I didn't have to comply with it even if it was meant to be heard. A constant bedfellow spurned, I never asked to lie with it, but I guess it whispered to me truth in a wry missive. This isn't scientific, but damn. Did this list of, I'll choose traits instead of symptoms, line up? All right, let's take a step back. I was called a weird kid, and it always seemed that they meant that. Over-emotional, highly sensitive, it seemed. To attention and auditory stimuli, I'd flee. Truth was I craved those burbling streams and PC screens to the youthful screams, and it was lonely. Too weird for the normal kids, and too normal for the weird kids. So this, middling existence. 64 out of 100, and I've spoken on this 4 times. And 4 times met with disbelief, but Travis, you seem so complete. Your career and your friends' success so replete. Yes, some friends, and yes, a career. I took notes after social interactions for 3 effing years. This is not an exaggeration. I have walked home in tears while I wrote down my flaws, failures, faux pas, F-ups, and fears. What went wrong, what went right, felt, said, saw through the night, and it felt like everyone had received a handbook to social interaction, and I had been absent that day. So all right, let's get back to traits. Lack of changing facial expression, poor body language, and gesture comprehension, difficulty making friends. Yeah, I think I mentioned. And it kind of made sense, not a mistake or a choice, and I understood why when I was tired I forgot to inflect my voice, because it was a constant decision in groups trying to listen and pick up the parts I was missing as I tried to figure out where I was supposed to cast my vision. What did that joke mean, and why did he cross his arms? Why is she laughing? Why is my heart beating alarm? How am I meant to stand? What joke am I to make? Is a calm front masking panic my future constant fate? So it's 3 years of notes and nearly a dozen books learned rote to hit a level of confidence where on my heart I didn't feel like I was going to choke. 64 out of 100. Diagnosable around 80. Push it down or accept it. It's a bit lighter now, still weighty. The confidence is improved and the inner voice is still shaky, still mumbling and reminding me it's my best known enemy. I'll say it once to the camera. Part of me hopes the footage is grainy, with audio that is fading and the message within degrading. Whatever. I'll be the one with the nicest mask when we're masquerading. Thank you. Okay, so we'll blast on through here. I'm used to having the guy with the crook at the edge. Okay, this one's called Reflection. I wrote this one. I was like that guy in the bar with like the hat and like writing poetry and just like not talking to anyone. It's not a joke, I did that. So I wrote this after I got home from a trip around the world that I've been saving up for 3 years and working, and kind of didn't go the way I thought it would. A child of the 90s, a muddy shirt and grass-stained knees, who always retained a love of moss-claimed trees, then PCs and Pokemon, and with love's really the only way I ever spoke to my mom. Flash forward to disgruntled, misplaced adolescent, underpaid staff grumbling that same addled lesson, that same sad old message. And a teenhood belied by blast wheat-wielding bands and spray can-stained hands beleaguered, though by day often found in a theater, and still afraid to name the Scottish play. You know the one. Floated out of that on a badly crafted raft atop drink swills and past that's. Still pissed I never got a letter promising inked quills and sorting hats. Though there was that one incident with the pills, the result a piece of shit psychiatrist who through sheer ineptitude gave my drowning ass gills. Decided if life was a game, then it was a game I would play to win, and I'd make everything I want to be into everything I'd ever been, and I would turn past sins into lessons. Flash cuts through scenes of high school repetition, transcripts that were missing, and grades that barely float. I actually had the same teacher, not sure how he didn't gloat. Dated a lovely little maid, whose name I will not say here. She was the subject of my second poem ever on a page that stained with tears, and I sincerely hope she's well. I eventually walked across a stage with a hat shaped as a page and reluctantly joined that so-called rat race. Took on more work than I could, 60 hours to a week, socked and stored, wanting more for a quest that I would seek. A life of adventure, to see what I'd never dreamed. Clients call, deadlines fall. I swear I nearly screamed. And I did on a couple painful, silly, cold occasions, but my goal nearly reached, if not here, at least adjacent, and then I got to taste it. Landed in howling Reykjavik. 3 years of adventures, this page could not contain it. I once more found love that caused me to thank something above and leave me stunned and entranced, though friends and family gazed askance. And it turned out they were right. But sometimes I wonder, did I miss my last chance for a first dance? So here we are, we've reached the present, back returned resplendent, or something to that effect. A constant churning yearning to establish what is next. I got my name upon a desk, respectable paychecks, but gazing at the past puts such a strain upon my neck. I'm not sure where to go from here, past a future loosely chained. Everything I've dreamed I've claimed, but this double Windsor noose strains. So I'll sit upon a desk with a heart that whispers artist, put a pen upon a page and try to push myself the farthest, because I know that you are out there, the ones who feel like me. Put your hand in mine, we'll glow divine and march towards sights unseen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm afraid I don't have Shimshon's gift for patter between these, so I'm just going to keep going. Okay, this next one is called This Desk. This one's only one page. No spacing, though. This desk, simultaneously symbolizing success, as well as inspiring me to there balance a pen and send my forehead down to rest. I'm told hidden here is a chest with a fortune from which to rest. Just ignore the shattered souls, broken hulls, and the wrecks. Maybe it's a test, nothing more, nothing less, or maybe this is purgatory, whether it's cursed or blessed. Look, there's a privilege and a blessing to be in such a state to question and frown, but I cannot be the only one with this tension and melancholy deep down. I'm 29 and I've worked so hard to be told 35, this is barely the start. I'm constantly oscillating between gratitude for my home and food and hungering to see these expensive ass windows with some stones smashing through. My mind runs through my ears. Should I just lean in and find something from which to profiteer? Looking through glass, wondering how people face it down with no tears. Oh dear, maybe there's a communication interference between my brain's two hemispheres. This desk, this horrid effing desk, this stained and varnished stage for childhood dreams to meet their death. This isn't how we were meant to live, I soliloquize under my breath. No swords from stones to rest. The sun sets on our dreams and I've forgotten which way is rest. Oh, capitalism, you vain and plastic schism. I'm forming my own Scooby Gang. Come on and smash it with them. I'm half joking when I say that I'm looking to start a movement to buy a plot of land and set some roots loose in it. So if you're like me and your soul aches to be free, stuff your pockets full of seed and study up on animal husbandry. And if you know about self-sufficiency, maybe we can align our dreams and avoid being called a cult for a year or 3. Simultaneously a cry for help and the most privileged shit I've ever wrote. 40 more years of this I'm gonna choke, overthrow, and smash the yoke. Remove the hand from throat. Ideas like cracking arms. Yeah, I'm gonna rock the boat. Get your goat. Cheese. Trade you if that salmon's smoked. I was born in the 90s. My retirement plan is societal collapse. I'm so sick of, I want my oil money now. There's enough time left to elapse. Yeah, consign your grandchildren to water rations. Consign them to elusive passions. Consign them to confusing actions. Boil to remove infections. Whole forests reduced to fractions. Waiting for the truth in a blacked out newspaper. 100% redactions. So once more, I've made my mask for the masquerade, but this time it's crumbling at a faster rate. Hopefully it's past the end of the day that the plaster fades, and if yours will stay, maybe you can explain this mass charade. Thank you.